As promised, our second period intermission guest is again Peter Murphy, the head coach of the St. Tommy's women's hockey program. And Peter has been very gracious to give us his time. In the first intermission, we talked a little bit about some of the players who have graduated and moved on, some of the players who came in as new recruits this year, Peter. But you also, you can't have a building block without having core players that are coming back into the program. And you have some dynamite core players back with you this year.
I guess we started with the rookies from the back end, so I guess we'll do the same thing. Obviously, when you can return the AUS Rookie of the Year in goal, that's always a strong starting point for you. And Julia Sharon is back from Edmonton and looking for her second year. Obviously, is going to be a big impact for us. And she was second team All-Star last year, all rookie team as well for the AUS, and we're just looking for great things from her this year. She's, very much a steadying force on the back end for us. The girls just have great confidence when she's in net. So that's a great start for us. And then I guess moving up from there, we have one of our more famous players, is Lucrece Nussbaum, who plays for the Swiss national team. She'll be heading to the Olympics this year, which will actually affect us a little bit because obviously we'll lose her for some games, but not something that I'm going to hold against her for sure. Get an opportunity to go to the Olympics and play for your country is just a dream come true for her. It's what she said she wanted to do when she came here. We said we'd help her get there, and we're just very fortunate to have it happen, and can't be prouder of her, of course. So she's back this year on defense and was second team AUS All-Star last year, and I think had probably some strong consideration for first team. She's very, very strong, dominant defenseman when she's on the ice. Her partner, Kathleen Boyle, is back as well. Kathleen's game's just gotten better and better every year. Really has mastered her shot. She always had a strong shot, but really has real good control over it now, and she's very physical as well. A little bit of an injury right now from last weekend in that Dow game, but she'll be back with us probably in a couple weeks. And from there, Alexis Laird and on the back end as well is returning. She is in the social work program at St. Thomas, very demanding program, but she's balancing that as best she can with the demands of the hockey program. But doing very well and very steady for us in the back end, and of course Jessica Holt returns on the back end as well. And Jessica's if you want to talk about a defenseman who plays with a green light, Jessica Holt loves green light. She does. Likes to rush the puck.
Yeah. Now, Peter, you also have some returning forwards. That Charity Walls is one of your returning forwards for this year as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Charity is back and playing actually with a couple of rookies this year. She's had a great preseason, so we're looking for big things from her. And she's wearing an A this year as well for us. So there's great leadership with Charity. She's a very, very vocal player. Other forwards are top line from last year. Lise Rosignol, Jill Coughlin, and Dominique Bernier are all back together and playing. And they had a slow start to the preseason, but really started to come along, and they're clicking much better now here that we've had the first couple games under our belts. So we're looking for them to probably carry the lion's share of the offense this year, where they do know each other a little bit. And Dominique Bernier was also voted in as team captain as well. So great for her as far as her leadership abilities go. And then Kelly Matthews and Caroline Hammerheim are back as well, both coming into their fifth years in the program and really want to leave their mark on the program, and much improved. Kelly worked really, really hard this summer, and it's really showing in preseason, getting the game winner in that OT winner with Dow, and Caroline has shown some great skill development over the summer as well. So really, really doing great things, working hard in the summer and putting in the time to make sure they're back. And then Nicole Dubé is back as well with us, and she's playing forward. Although with Boyle's injury, she's probably going to drop back to defense for us this year. She's a great utility player and can play in either position, which is great, forward or defense. And is real physical presence out there when she's on the ice. And I guess the only person left to talk about is Kayla Blackmore, and Kayla's coming off of an injury, so she's still not available for us, but we're hoping to have her here pretty soon. She's getting better and better every week, so hopefully she'll be available before too long, because she was tied for second in scoring last year, and obviously would be a big impact as soon as she came back.
When you take a look around the league, of course, you always measure yourself up against other teams, and we'll do that towards the end.
Sure.
We'll get to that, but let's take a look around the league because you probably had a chance to go around the league. Of course, it is a 7-team league. You're one of the teams in the mix. Taking a look at St. Mary's off to this fast start, what do you see out of that squad?
St. Mary's has got a veteran squad in. They didn't bring in a whole lot of new players, but they've got a lot of people, and it seems like they've just got a lot of people buying in. Last year, I don't know if the buy-in was there for their team. They just didn't seem to be there, but man, I've seen them play a game, about a period of the game at the Moncton tournament, and they really are flying, and they're playing really, really well. Lisa's really got them going, so they'll be a tough team for sure. They, like I say, mostly from veteran, not so much from rookies coming in, but they'll definitely be one to contend this year. From there, I guess if you want to talk about the other ones that would normally be talked about as at the top of the league, University of Moncton obviously is always a difficult challenge. We play very spirited games against them and enjoy them, and very high offense team. They'll almost typical Alberta fire wagon hockey kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They like to turn the puck over. They'll give up a 3-on-2 to get a 3-on-2 kind of thing. So you always have to be aware when they're on the ice. You've got to make sure you're on your back check and evening things up by the time they get to the blue line, because otherwise they can hurt you for sure. They've got some very talented forwards, and their goaltending is very strong with Desjardins net. She's a very strong goaltender as well.
When you take a look, another perennial powerhouse in the conference is St. FX.
Absolutely, and David and I butt heads all the time, and they're a great team. They're very well coached. I really admire David. He's done a great job with that program, and they've had a pretty good recruiting year as well. They've got a new goaltender in from Waterloo who's played us, and she was in net for the 5-1 loss in our season opener. Strong goaltender, so she'll be tough to deal with. But again, they lost a lot of their scoring from last year, so they're going to probably not be quite as explosive as they've been in the past. But they are playing a probably better systems hockey than they were before. I think probably because they feel they need to, but it's really paying benefits for them. They're a very tough team to play against now.
When we take, and of course Dalhousie as well, because you've had a chance to play them in the preseason and regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-goal games both times. We came on the good side of the preseason one, and then they got the better of us in the regular season game. But they're always a very physical challenge. They play a very, very physical style of hockey, which our girls don't back down from. That's fine, and so they're always tough. Leslie's always got them playing a very tight system as well, and they'll always be a tough game. You're never going to blow out Dal. It's always going to be something where they're going to be in it right till the end, and you got to make sure that you're dedicated at both ends of the ice, or they'll hurt you for sure. Jocelyn LeBlanc is definitely a threat for them. She may be the best. Her and Provost are probably the two best one-on-one players in the league.
When you take a look, there's two other teams I want to briefly touch on, and that's Mount Allison and UPEI, squads that, of course, every year you hope to see squads in this league improving.
Yeah, and they definitely have. I mean, the Moncton tournament showed anybody anything. It was that there's really starting to become a little bit more like the guys' league in that, before UNB sort of took off, but in the sense the men's programs were always talked about as parity on any night. Anybody could beat anybody, and we're really starting to see that on the women's side in the preseason. So whether that carries through into regular season or not is yet to be seen, but UPEI is definitely stronger. They brought in 2 new goalies and 2 or 3 new forwards as well. So they're going to be tough. And Bruce has them play a tight system, and so you really have to make sure you're moving the puck well and getting it deep and in behind their defense to try to turn things over and get opportunities in their end. And Mount Allison, it's first year for Zach. Zach Ball is the new coach down there, taking over for Jack Drover as he retired, and so Zach's looking to put his mark on his team, and they'll be a hard-working team, and I think talent-wise they've gotten in 2 or 3 new players from New Brunswick that I think will help them as well. So, and they've got 2 very strong goaltenders. I would say that if there's anything about our league is every team has a goaltender that can steal a game on any given night. So it's going to be a fun year for sure.
And Peter, I'll let you go with this one. Give a synopsis on where you think this. While you may be at the bottom right now, where you think the team will be come the end of the year.
Well, obviously we don't go into the season, even in a rebuilding year, we don't want to rule ourselves out of anything. That being said, we don't consider this a rebuilding year. We think that we have as good a shot as anybody to win the AUS conference. And, we definitely mean to get out there and prove it this weekend on the road down in Mount A and UPEI.
Peter, we really appreciate your time tonight, and I know we'll be touching base throughout the season. Peter Murphy is the head coach of the St. Thomas Tommies women's hockey program, and we will be touching base with Peter throughout the season. Back to the men's Tommies game in just a moment or two with Randy. You're listening to Summit Dodge Tommies Hockey on 95.7 The Wolf.